Hey everyone, today I want to talk about a hot topic, AI voices and their impact on the voice acting industry as a whole. Everybody is in a little bit of a panic and I totally understand why, but let's look at this from multiple angles. First off, I want to say that I panicked a few weeks ago because a client reached out, said they loved my voice, but they didn't have the budget to work with me. So they then asked if they could clone my voice in an AI app so that my voice could narrate their scripts. I looked at the AI app, and more importantly, I listened. And I have to say that my jaw dropped a little bit. I wrote a blog 3 years ago about an AI app that was marketing very aggressively, and I can say that in just 3 years, the industry has made leaps and bounds, probably at least partly because they're using huge databases of voices to draw from. This company sells memberships that offer the clients the ability to use their AI voices for a certain amount of text every month. For a higher fee, the client has the option to clone a voice so they can use that voice to narrate their scripts. It seemed like the client had to have permission to clone the voice, but I don't know what that entails. Is it just like a checkbox that says, yes, I have permission to use the voice, or is there something more comprehensive? I couldn't confirm that from the website. Now, it might be tempting for some of you to clone your voice so you can hear what you sound like, but be careful, because once you put your voice in an AI app, you're in their database. And unless you have a very clear and solid relationship with that company, you don't know how and where your voice will be used. It can be reproduced endlessly. And I'm going to take this further. You could even wake up someday and hear yourself talking about a super sexy subject like hemorrhoids. Just saying.
I'm a hemorrhoid and I'm alright. I live in a place that gets no light. I hurt like hell, don't mind a bit, because I love the smell of shit.
So I told this client that I did not give my permission to use my voice in this AI app. But the reality is that all of us who have our voices out there in the public domain are at risk of theft from AI companies. Now, let's talk about the voices I heard. The voices I heard were very lifelike. In general, they had one tone, but that tone was very engaging, probably because the audio sources the AI app drew from were engaging. So they had breaths, and they're totally, absolutely realistic. But it's still generic. It doesn't have what we have: personality, point of view, emotion, experience, and the technical things we do when we express those things, like variation in pitch, tone, pace, pauses, hesitations, what I call life noises, the little ums, ahs, all that stuff that we do in real life and that clients really want from the actors that they hire, because that helps them create a connection with their audience. And in the commercial sector, that connection helps them sell. So the trend of the marketplace is not one tone. It's personality, individuality, being unique, messy, unpolished, all things that the AI isn't. And this is all stuff I teach my students to bring into their reads, because that's what clients want and that's what books work. That's just a fact. Still, AI is very much altering the workspace, even for artists. And I do think that companies that have a lot of informational content now have a low-cost option for voices. So if you're in a sector that is very information heavy, like e-learning or voicemail or even doing a lot of technical narration, I think you will feel the impact. But I still think a lot of people will prefer working with humans than with AI voices. Either way, hopefully you don't have all your eggs in one basket, and if you do, it's time to spread your wings a little bit. That said, there are always two sides to a coin, and there is opportunity to make money with AI voices. There are licensing fees that can be made, and there are other ways we can profit. We just don't know how yet because the voices haven't been used for long enough on a large enough scale. But in time, we'll come to understand all the different ways we can profit from them as well. At the end of the day, I think we can safely say that the days of being generic are over. The days of reading, just reading, are over. We all have to bring more humanity to what we're reading. That's what's going to help us retain our jobs. As a side note, I think a lot of inventions and innovation, they push us at some point in the journey, maybe not right away, but at some point in the journey, they always push us to be more human and to have more humane values. the car was invented and then everybody was dying in accidents. Oh, okay, we care about people. We put seatbelts. So I think that any invention at the end of the day helps us to face ourselves and determine what's important to us. And I think AI is no different than that, and that's why I'm not terribly worried about it. It might be nasty for a little while, but I think at the end of it all, we will always choose us, humans. We will always choose humane values because that's what we need to do to survive. But I digress. What is not generic is you, your personality, your point of view, your emotions, your experience. Those all comprise the magic ingredient that give you leverage in the marketplace. The key is to be able to bring that into your reads. That takes dedication, practice, and a lot of patience. And when in doubt, always remember the job is not voice reading, it's voice acting. And actually, AI is doing the job of voice reading. So that'll make things really clear for us all. And that's my 2 cents about that. If you have any experiences you want to share or any comments or thoughts, please write them in the comments. Let's take this discussion further. If you're interested in staying in touch with me or applying for courses or classes that I'm putting together, please join my mailing list. It's the best way for us to stay connected. And also, if you didn't know, I wrote some ebooks about voice acting called Get Clever About Voice Acting and Announcing. And if you join the mailing list, you'll get a discount for them. As always, this is a labor of love. So if you like the content on this channel, please subscribe. It means the world to me.